Today we have another 3-act task. 3-act tasks are great for practicing our math skills and our problem-solving skills. Today's 3-act task is called the Pringle Ringle. Let's start with Act 1. In Act 1, we are introduced to the situation, brainstorm a question, and make some estimates. Here's our situation. My first impression is, wow, that is really cool. But then I'm starting to wonder, how many Pringles did it take him to actually make that Pringle Ringle? That's the question we're going to be answering today. Now that we have our question, it's time to make an estimate that we know it's too high, too low, and just right.
Here is my 3-act task activity. My question for this video is, how many Pringles did it take to make the Pringle Ringle? My first job for Act 1 is to make an estimate that I know is way too high. I do not think he used 300 Pringles. That seems crazy. Now I need to make an estimate that is too low. It seems like there's more than 10 Pringles in that Pringle Ringle. Next up, I need to make an estimate that is just right. I'm going to let you guys figure out one that you think is just right and add it there.
Pause the video here to complete that now. Now we're moving on to Act 2. In Act 2, we unwrap the problem little by little by learning some new information. Here's a picture that's going to share 2 pieces of very important information for us. Alright, so now we know there were 78 Pringles in the can to start with, and he only had 14 Pringles in his can once he was done. I think we have all we need to be able to solve this problem.
Alright, so we just watched the Act 2 part of the video, and so now I need to say how many Pringles came in the can to start with. We know that there were 78 Pringles in the can to start with, and now I need to record how many Pringles were left in the can when he was done. Okay, so now I know how many he began with, and I know how many were left. That means it's time for me to solve the problem. Now I have a few choices here. One of my choices could be to make a drawing, and I could try to draw 78 Pringles, but that might take forever. Oof, I'm already tired, and I'm not even close to being done yet. Maybe there's a different strategy that I can use instead of drawing. Perhaps I could do a quick drawing of base 10 block. I'm going to erase my drawing, and I'm going to do a quick drawing instead. Now that my drawing is done, I can use some other math strategies to try to figure out the answer. But I'm going to let you try to figure that out. Write what you guess the answer is here.
Now remember, you should use pictures, base 10 blocks, quick drawings, or some strategy that's going to help you to solve that problem. Pause the video here so you can complete that work. Alright, so now you should have an idea of what you think is the correct answer. It's time to move on to Act 3. Act 3 will always show us the answer to our question. Then we get to reflect back on our work to see if we were correct. Whoa, he used 64 Pringles to make that Ringle? Ringle's a funny word. Our last job here is to write that answer in the box for Act 3 and circle the check mark or the X to say whether we were right. Once again, that was a pretty tricky one. Remember, the real fun of these 3-act tasks is solving these problems bit by bit. If you watch the whole thing at once, it takes all the fun out of uncovering the clues that help you get to the answer. It's also nice because honestly, It doesn't really matter if you get it right the first time or not. The real skill here is thinking about how you tried to solve it the first time, looking back and analyzing your work, and then trying to be better at solving it the next time. These are so fun. You know, I kind of want to make a Pringle Ringle in real life now and see if I also use 64 Pringles.